Beyond just his Hollywood good looks and irresistible screen presence, Bradley Cooper showed he was more than just your modern movie star in 2019 with his directorial debut, A Star is Born. Despite being the fourth big-screen rendition of the classic love story, Cooper's film was fresh, showing that he might even be more talented behind the camera than he is in front of it, and that's saying a lot. His follow-up directorial effort, the Leonard Bernstein biopic Maestro, was an even more ambitious effort, but despite earning several Oscar nominations, it proved to be much more divisive. On paper, Cooper's latest, Is This Thing On?, seems like it might have him scaling back on his ambition, telling a smaller story that still covers similar themes as his previous two films, performance and relationships. Not only that, but Cooper isn't even the star. Instead, it's his close personal friend Will Arnett, who is more known for being a funny man than a serious dramatic actor. Yet it is fitting, as Is This Thing On is not just another showcase of Cooper's talent as a filmmaker, but it also shows a wholly different side to Arnett.
What is This Thing On about?
Arnett plays Alex Novak, who has a fairly mundane life living in suburban Manhattan. His wife, Tess, is a former Olympic volleyball player with whom he has two 10-year-old sons. They're Irish twins, as Alex later explains in his stand-up. Alex and Tess have reached a pivotal point in their 26-year relationship, as they have made the mutual decision to divorce. Despite telling people that he's okay, Alex is clearly struggling with his marriage dissolving. The two are trying to make their split as amicable as possible. They still hang out with the friends they share, including the artsy stoners, Christine, and Balls, and they still attend their son's school events together. Even then, there is clearly something bothering Alex, especially as he adjusts to living alone and an apartment. That's when he stumbles into the Comedy Cellar on open mic night, where he puts his name down to perform to get out of paying the $15 cover fee to enter the club. As Alex nervously walks onto the stage, he begins to find his rhythm as he makes jokes about his divorce and the potential causes. Instead of moving on or being embarrassed, Alex begins to fall in love with the world of stand-up, using it as a way to vent out his frustrations. He hides this from Tess, and his mother is confused by his new passion, telling him, "I had no idea your life was this bad." Contrary to Cooper's other films as a filmmaker, Is This Thing On isn't a rise-to-fame story, nor is it about stand-up comedy. Instead, it uses stand-up as a backdrop to dissect Alex's inner turmoil as he jokes his way through hashing out his regrets and faults while gradually becoming more and more comfortable on stage. There's no moment where a talent scout is in the audience looking to cast Alex in some TV show or sign him to a deal, or where he's told that he has a true gift for telling jokes. At its core, Is This Thing On is about Alex confronting his demons and realizing that he may be the cause of his own sadness.
Will Arnett gives one of the year's best performances in Is This Thing On?
For many, Will Arnett is best known as the struggling and insecure magician Gob from Arrested Development, or his impressive resume of voice roles, ranging from the Lego Batman movie to BoJack Horseman. Most of his attempts at leading a live-action film fell flat, including Let's Go to Prison, The Brothers Solomon, and, who could forget, Show Dogs. Is This Thing On is drastically different from any of Arnett's past movie roles, and he proves himself to be just as talented a dramatic actor as he is a comedic one. We first meet Alex when he's at his weakest, alone in the corner, obviously depressed, while watching a performance at his children's school. Arnett doesn't play Alex like he played Go Bluff. Instead, he brings a sincerity to the character, one that makes us immediately have empathy for him. His gradual comfort with performing has a natural progression, one that is wholly believable. He also proves himself to have a strong handle on carrying the familial drama, especially during a pivotal scene where his sons confront him after finding his folder full of jokes about their family. Equally as effective is Laura Dern as Tess. While the movie is largely told from Alex's POV, it does give a fair amount of time to Tess's side of the story as well. Dern is never relegated to having to play that token nagging ex-wife character that we've seen plenty of times in movies before. Dern gives an earnestness to Tess as she tries to show that she still cares about Alex without it ever being too romantic or melodramatic, such as simply showing up to his apartment to assist with a lice problem. She also gets to have a couple of laughs of her own, including her friendship with Alex's mother, whom she occasionally meets up with in secret a few blocks away from her home. Most of the comedy stems from Andra Day and Bradley Cooper's Christine and Balls. Their odd couple dynamic is introduced as quickly as they are, as they individually try to counsel Alex and Tess. Cooper's Balls is particularly a big highlight, as he excitedly talks about being an understudy in a biblical play and claiming to be recognized in the streets. Christine Ebersol and Siren Hines give the movie an additional dose of heart as Alex's parents, who give him an alternate look at what his marriage could have been.
Is This Thing On is a more optimistic alternative to Marriage Story. Beyond just being about divorce and featuring Laura Dern, Is This Thing On is the perfect companion piece to Noah Baumbach's Marriage Story. While Baumbach's Oscar-winning drama was a more melancholy look at a married couple separated, Cooper's film looks for solutions. We see Alex and Tess fight, but there's never a moment that is as climactic as the screaming match that Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson shared, and that's a positive thing. Cooper, Arnett, and Mark Chappell's screenplay isn't looking for the why of its character separation. It's trying to focus on the how. It's trying to paint a picture of a more traditional divorce, one that isn't caused by one particular incident or affair, but the concept of one's feelings drifting away. Cooper once again reunites with cinematographer Matthew Libatique, who does a spectacular job at making the movie become more alive, including moments where the camera seemingly teleports with Alex from a bedroom to the backstage of the Comedy Cellar. There's a lively nature to the camera movements that keeps the movie flowing at a consistent pace. On a technical level, Is This Thing On might not be on as grand a scale as A Star Is Born or Maestro, but it does continue to show Cooper's strength as a filmmaker, with the smaller scope making the movie more intimate and personal. It does take a moment to get on the same wavelength as Is This Thing On, but once Arnett's Alex takes the stage, it transforms into one of the most memorable and heartfelt films you'll see all year. This may not have the same awards trajectory as Cooper's last two movies, as the material isn't nearly as baity, but this film continues his winning streak as a director. Is This Thing On opens in theaters on December 19.